is James Terlecki. We're at Next Level Martial Arts Academy in Austintown, Ohio. I have been training in martial arts since I was 8 years old, and I am 42. So 34 years. I started out in Korean Taekwondo. I always watched Bruce Lee movies, I loved it. My dad took me to a school and eventually got involved, started taking lessons, and from there started competing, and just the love and passion for the arts just kept growing. I started coaching in 2005. Interestingly, as time went on, I was always interested in what really works in a real life fight, what works in a real situation, and that's kind of when I got introduced to the Ultimate Fighting Championship. I was in high school. A buddy of mine said, "Hey, you got to check this out. There's these no rules fights that they pit different martial arts styles against one another. You got to check it out." So I rented it. I didn't really believe that that you could actually do this. I'm like, there's no way this is legal. And sure enough, it was a real event. You began to see like what styles really apply in a hand-to-hand combat situation. The dominant style initially was Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. So at this point in my life, all I've done is striking, and then I get introduced to this art, Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, where you see this guy 170 pounds, and he's beating people 50, 70 pounds heavier than him, taking him to the ground and choking him out, or arm barring them, putting him in some type of submission. So I was fascinated with it. And the guy's name was Royce Gracie, the winner of the first few Ultimate Fighting Championships. And I researched it, seeing if there were any schools, and I found out that he was teaching a seminar in Ohio, in Cleveland, Ohio. And at that time, I got to meet Royce for the first time. And along with him, he had two gentlemen who helped. The one guy was Jeff Hudson, who taught in Columbus, Ohio, and then the other guy was Craig Kramer, and he had an affiliate school of Royce's in Cleveland. It wasn't long after that I started commuting there 3 days a week for a number of years, driving an hour and a half to Cleveland, hour and a half back home, 3 or 4 days a week. And later on, I got introduced to Duke Rufus. I trained under and got my black belt under in his kickboxing system. Just always kind of developing and interested in new things. Anytime somebody comes in at our academy, if someone were to come here, we start them off with an intro lesson. They come in, they work one-on-one with the coach, and they introduce, whether they're here for Brazilian Jiu Jitsu or kickboxing, whatever their interests are, they get basically a private lesson. And after that, they're put in a beginner class with other beginners, so they can learn to crawl and then walk and then run eventually. But again, you're not getting placed in a room with a bunch of people ready to kill you. We want to help you, and we know the best way to do that is to take you and introduce you to the basics and then continue to build on that foundation. I mean, at this academy we get kids as young as 4, and then we have my dad who trains, and he's 78, but he still gets on the mat and trains, which is absolutely incredible. We have women that train in kickboxing, we have women that train in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, some of them do both. The biggest misconception is like that the majority of people that train here do MMA, are interested in fighting of some sort. The majority of people do it because they just want to get in shape, stress relief. Some people, they've been bullied or whatever the case. They want to know if like they're in a situation, they're out to eat with their wife or whatever, and they get in a situation where they have to defend themselves. They want to be able to do that. So that's a big part of it. Some people do it because lifting weights is boring, and this is a cool way to exercise and get in shape at the same time. I think a lot of people are hesitant to do it because I talk to a lot of people that are like, oh, I'd love to train Brazilian Jiu Jitsu or kickboxing. I've thought about it, and they just have never taken that leap to do it. They're intimidated. They think there's, when they walk through the door, there's going to be a bunch of guys like drooling, waiting to like the new guy to come in so they can pound on them. But that's not the case. This is like a family here. Everybody's, we make sure we have good people here, friendly people here, no knuckleheads. If anybody acts like that, they're warned one time, and then after that, they're asked to leave. But yeah, people are a little bit intimidated to start out, but once they come in here, they see how friendly everybody is and how everybody's wants to be a help to them. And because again, everybody started in the same way. We're in the same position. You got to walk through that door. You gotta put yourself in a position where you're vulnerable, right, to try new things and to take that step. If anybody is interested in training martial arts, whether it's this academy or another academy, I'd say go for it, give it a shot. It's a lot of fun. You can really benefit from it in your life, challenging yourself and then really testing yourself. This is when we get on the mat, it's like you feel alive when you're rolling. It's a great time. You get to meet a lot of new people. I see so many people here build so many good friendships and relationships, and that's the best part of it, the people. So go for it.
Uncommon Sense Fit to Live episode coming soon.